Welcome to day number 4, video number 2. This is your final video for day number 2, and we just have one day to go, guys. So stick with it. You're doing great. And by the way, tomorrow is the day where we finally get to make your website look good. So what we're going to do here in video number 2 are just a couple of small tweaks to get you prepared and hyped for tomorrow. To get you prepared and ready for tomorrow with some little tweaks that are going to make tomorrow's task of making your site look good much easier. So as you can see, I'm logged into my WordPress dashboard. I'd like for you to do the same. And we're going to start things off with the left-hand sidebar again. We're going to take a look at a couple of those plugins that you uploaded the other day. So we're going to look at our settings tab down here at the bottom left, and we're going to scroll down to where it says TinyMCE Advanced. And we want to click here to open our TinyMCE Advanced editing page. What you're looking at with the TinyMCE is a snapshot of your existing editor. You may recall when we were showing how to set up pages and blog posts that you had a main box that worked very similar to a Microsoft Word processor or something similar to that. So what we're looking at here is the options that are currently available to you here at the top. Down at the bottom are additional options that might make your life easier and give you more flexibility with setting up your pages by adding these TinyMCE options. There's not a whole lot here that you need to add to your editing box, but there's a couple of things here that I like to have. For example, font family. As it sets in default mode, you are able to adjust font size and even put it in bold and underline your text and all that fun stuff. But the one thing that seems to be missing and is a glaring omission to me is the font family. You're not able to change to, let's say, from Times Roman to Arial font and so forth. So all you need to do is drag and drop. You left click on your mouse, drag, and then let go of that left button and drop it. And there you are. So you might want to just take a quick glance at some of these options here. If you see anything that is missing that you'd like to have on your editor box, just do as we did, drag and drop, and you're done. You have two main columns of space here where you can drag and drop icons. My recommendation, even though you see these columns extend all the way over here to the right, do not go any further than the existing default icons. If you do, those icons will not appear on your page even if you drag and drop them, because they will be outside of the display limits. So a couple of icons here, a couple of icons on the bottom row if you need them, and then scroll down to the bottom. Remember, you got to hit this Save Changes. If you don't hit Save Changes, then it's not going to appear. So now let's take a look at our handiwork and see what we've done. This will help you greatly when you're setting up your new website layout. So as you can see now, if I go to my editor box, you'll see that I now have font family and font styles in addition to my font size and format. So now I have two additional options here that are going to give me a lot more flexibility and control over how my text appears on my page. It can make a world of difference. So that is TinyMCE. Now we're going to go back to our left-hand sidebar again, and this time we're going to take a look at limit login attempts. Now here's why we had you download limit login attempts. Out of the box, WordPress is a great program, but one of its big weaknesses is its initial security settings, meaning that if somebody were to attempt to hack into your site, okay, just what we call brute force hacking, just using username after password, it's never going to lock them out. They can just have unlimited go at trying to log in. Now you may think, well, big deal, because there's millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of combinations. But keep in mind that there are bots out there. These are little software programs that individuals can utilize for what we call brute force hacking. And that means that they can come in and much quicker than a human can enter in multiple combinations of username and password, and they never get tired out, so they could keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And this is a real danger. So what this plugin allows you to do is come in and tell the system, well, after somebody fails to get the proper login 4 times, I want to lock them out for, by default, it says 20 minutes. But if I want, I can even change this to a full hour, or I could change this to a day, or then the system will reset after that 60-minute or 20-minute lockout, and they'll get 4 more attempts. But if they get locked out yet again, you can boost that up to a full 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever you feel comfortable setting. You can tell the system to email you after these failed attempts. So select your settings, what you're comfortable with, and then click Change Options. Now we're going to go back to that left-hand sidebar yet again, and we're going to click on Secure WP. That's short for Secure WordPress. This is yet another plugin that is designed to help boost your security on the back end. The default settings are excellent. It fixes and plugs up a lot of the holes that are currently in that default setting of WordPress. So you're just going to come in and save your changes. A lot of these security plugins, there's a lot of really good security plugins out there, guys. Keep in mind that the free versions of these plugins are operating at a lower level than the paid versions. If you want top level security, you do typically have to pay for those types of plugins. However, even a free plugin is going to plug up a lot of holes that you didn't have previously. So this is, between the limit login attempts and this plugin, you are making your site a lot more secure than it was just in default setting. So feel comfortable that you do have a big improvement. However, if you want even better improvement, then you could go to these sites. For example, here you could set up a free account, go check out their website, websitedefender.com, and see what they have to offer as far as premium paid plugins. You never really can be too secure, so I'm a big fan of plugging up additional security holes, backing up your site. If you'd like to talk further about protecting your website and properly backing up your website so that in the event that somebody does hack or something happens or something goes wrong, that you don't lose all of your hard work, then please feel free to contact us. There's a Contact Us tab on this page you can click on. It'll come straight to us. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, so now that I've introduced you to some of the plugins that you've downloaded, we're also going to take a look at the front page of your website. So let's open up and take a look at the front page. And we touched on this very briefly a couple days ago, that the front page of your site is in default mode displaying your most recent blog posts, right? So you may have a problem with that. Let's say you want a more traditional layout. You want a static front page to your website, not a blog post. Well, you're in luck because it's very easy to do. We go to our Settings tab on the left-hand sidebar yet again, down at the lower left. And we're going to start off with the General tab. We're starting off here because we're going to go from the top down. Okay, so we're starting off with, you have your title, then you have a tagline down here underneath, and you may want to change that. Okay, so as you can see here on the General Settings tab, as we're working our way from the top down, we want to change our site title and our tagline. So let's get started here. My title, Best Chicago Pizza. So let's stick with that theme. Let's say that we're still this Chicago-based pizza company here. And then now for my tagline, I'm just typing something right off the top of my head here. You're going to double check the web address for your website. Put your email address in here. It should already be here by default, but if it's not, go ahead and add your email now. All right. So we're going to scroll down all the way to the bottom, and we're going to click Save Changes. So now I could come back to my home page and I can refresh it. As you can see, I've already changed now. Best Chicago Pizza, the only pizza company you'll ever need. So good. We're heading in the right direction now. We're getting some of these overlooked segments of the site brushed up. I'm just going to keep going down the line here from general to reading. Okay, so we're skipping the writing and we're going straight to reading. Here you're going to see where it says front page displays. In other words, they're asking you, how would you like your front page to display your content? By default, your settings should be at your latest posts. In other words, it's telling WordPress you want to display it as a traditional blog layout. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's an excellent way to set up a nice, easy to manage, easy to design lead feeder page. It's great for delivering and dispensing content to your database and to your prospects and future clients. However, some of you may want a more traditional layout. So what we have here is a static page. If you want to change from displaying blog posts to having a static page, you're just going to click here, and now it's going to ask you, okay, so if you're changing this, then you need to answer two questions. Number one, what do you want displayed on your front page if you don't want your blog posts displayed there? And then number two, where do you want us to put your blog posts? So we have a little drop-down box here, and I could tell the system, okay, I want my front page to display my content from my sample page. If you followed instructions from a couple days ago, then you set up some additional pages on your website, right? You set up some sample pages, so go ahead and select those now. You should have more than one page because you're going to need to set up a specific page just for your blog posts. So I'm strongly recommending that you go back into your admin panel, if you have not already, and add a new page and name that page blog or blog posts or whatever you like. Okay, so if we go and we name this blog, okay, then I can come back here and refresh my options. And now you're going to see I have two pages to choose from. So I'm going to choose sample page for my front page and then blog for my blog posts. And I'm going to click the Save Changes button down at the bottom. So now if I refresh, if I go and refresh my home page, we're going to see that my blogs have been removed and now my sample page is showing. So now it shows this little edit button here, but this goes away for individuals who are actually viewing my site, okay? Because it's showing it to me because it knows that I'm the administrator, I'm the creator of the site, but your average individual browsing the site's not going to see this. So now I can go back to my sample page and I can set it up. I can add pictures to it, I can add text to it, and do all this fun stuff to make it look nice for my home page. But we have one more problem here, and a lot of people ask me about this. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's this big box that says leave a reply. That's awesome for blogs, but when you want a traditional website, traditional homepage, you don't want a big giant box at the bottom that says leave a reply. Okay, it just doesn't look good. It's a bit of an eyesore for a traditional page. So what we're going to do is go to our pages. Okay, we're going to go to our pages. I'm going to open up my sample page. And you're going to see that I really don't have any options to remove it. At least not at first glance. But if we take a look in the upper right hand corner where it says screen options and we click this little arrow, we're going to see that we have discussion options and all these additional options that currently were not checked. So I'm going to click on discussion, comments, and custom fields. That's what I want. So now as I scroll down, you're going to see I have all these new boxes with new options that I previously did not have. One of them being discussion. Do you want to allow comments and trackbacks? I do not want those showing up on the text of my home page. So I simply uncheck those boxes, scroll back up to the top, and I click Update. Now I can come back to my home page. I'm going to refresh. If I scroll down, the eyesore is gone. It's gone, thank goodness. It just did not look good on the home page. So I'm glad to have that gone. Now we're going to talk about individual pages. Let's say that you set up 3, 4, 5, 6 different pages, but they're not showing up here in your navigation bar. Well, that's fine. There's an easy solution here. There's an easy fix. We're going to go to the Appearance tab on the left. We're going to scroll down to where it says Menus. This is going to give you an option for a menu name. You can see it's blank here. I'm going to add a main menu. See, the reason why new pages that you've added are not showing is you have not yet selected your main menu. So we're going to go ahead and click this Create Menu button. And now it's going to tell me to select menu items, pages, categories, or links from the boxes to the left to begin building your custom menu. Excellent. So if I come over here on the left-hand sidebar, I scroll down just a little bit, I'm going to see pages. Pages that are not checked yet. So I'm going to check them and click Add to Menu. And if I did this correctly, it should be showing up here in this box now. And there it is. One other step here that we need to take, and that is to tell the system over here where it says Theme Locations, and it's telling your primary menu, I need to select from this drop-down which menu I want to activate. So I click Save to activate the new menu that I named Main. I'm going to click Save Menu one last time. And now if I did everything correctly, if I come over to my home page and refresh it, there we go. Here's my sample page and here's my blog. These are the two pages that I selected to be active on my main navigation. I can add as many as I want up until a point. Once we reach the edge here, we cannot add any more pages horizontally, but we're not without our options. See, if I go back to my menus, these are all clickable drag and drop interface. So the really cool part of this is if I want to make this blog page a drop-down box, or what we call a parent page. And then I'm going to make the sample page a child page of the blog page, and click Save. Watch what happens. I'm going to refresh my home page again, and you're going to see that my sample page is gone, but it's not truly gone. I simply made it a child page of my blog page. So now I can fit more pages on this navigation bar if need be by making drop-down boxes. So I could add as many pages as I want underneath this main blog. All I would have to do is add additional pages the same way that I did here. I just slowly drag them a little bit over to the right, and that turns them into child pages. If I decide I don't want it to be a child page any longer, I simply drag it to the left and click Save Menu again. Okay, so that's going to wrap up day number 4, video number 2. Tomorrow, remember, tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is the day that all of you have been waiting for, because we're going to tie everything together by making your website look great. How to improve the look and feel of your website so that it starts to look like a real deal website. So I will see you tomorrow. Again, a very fun and exciting day lined up for you tomorrow. It's your last day. We'll see you then. Make today a great day.